Hey, Zach. Thanks for meeting with me today and joining me on Just Around the Corner. Uh,
Absolutely.
so, yeah, today I just wanted to ask you a couple questions about one, like, what is Hark? What do you do at Hark? And yeah, just tell me a little bit about your role and for those that don't know, like what Hark is.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, Hark NWA is a nonprofit. We're in Rogers, but we cover all of Northwest Arkansas, so Washington, Benton, Madison counties. And my role is a community liaison with Hark. And so basically, I'm the one that's like boots on the ground talking to clients. So anyone that needs help finding anything in Northwest Arkansas can reach out to us at Hark, and we just help people find what's out there. So it could be anything from like very tangible things like food, clothing, to health needs, doctors, counselors, um, rental, financial assistance, kind of just anything. We have info on what's out there, and then we just tell people where to go. So that's what I do is talk to people that are looking for something and just tell them some good places they could try.
That's really cool. And it's really neat too that you're wanting to connect people to just really any of the resources that they're needing. Um, and how like how does Hark build their resources or the different organizations that they're connected to?
Yeah, we have a technology that um, it's kind of, looks like a Google page where just like a search bar, but it has in it, we try and have all the community resources in it. So we have someone that their full-time job is just to find out what's out there.
Hmm.
And so they try and keep updated information on everything that's out there. And then we just store it in our system so that we can find the things people are looking for. Um, and then, yeah,
That's
basically
awesome.
just trying to keep it all updated.
Yeah, that's really nice that you have someone who's dedicated to keeping track with what is the up-to-date information on what's available to people because I feel like so many times like if I am looking for a resource, the website might be old or maybe things have changed, and so it's cool that you guys are keeping track of that. And so if somebody were to contact you, you have like reliable information to say like, hey, this is where you can find this information, this is what is available to you. um, and how does someone get connected to someone at Hark or someone like you?
Yeah. So the best way is to just fill out the form on our website. So it's harknwa.com, HARKNWA.com. And then there's a little button that just says get connected, and it just has a little bit of information you fill out to send a request. And then me or someone else will just call you um, and schedule a time to, we usually just talk to you on the phone about what's going on, like a 20-minute call or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and are there any like qualifications or can just anyone reach out?
Yeah, absolutely anyone that's in Northwest Arkansas, like whether you make no money or a lot of money, anybody.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, it's not exclusive to a certain population, but that it's open to everyone, which gives a lot of freedom. And sounds like, too, like maybe even if you're not wanting those resources for yourself, like if you were asking on behalf of somebody, you could do that as well and maybe get like just some
hmm
tips, it sounds like. Am I getting that right?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes we talk to people like on behalf of their family member or friend and just help them get the information to connect their friend or family member.
Hmm,
So yeah, that'll work.
that's awesome. Well, I'm curious, like you're working at Hark and want to just learn more of like how did you even get into this position and what has like drawn you to this work that you're doing?
Yeah, I think I always just knew I liked people. I knew I wanted to do something working with people because that seemed to be where I thrived and what I enjoyed. What I like, if there was anything I was good at, it was like with people, not necessarily like with numbers or smarts or something.
Yeah.
Uh, so I got a degree at John Brown in Family and Human Services because it just helps you get jobs working with people, and that's all I knew I wanted to
Yeah.
do. And then, yeah, I've just done that kind of work since I graduated, working directly with people, helpful jobs. Um, yeah, I worked at a couple like homeless centers, and then now I've been at this job for going on a couple years.
That's awesome. Yeah, so you're a people person. You're somebody that likes to get connected to people. And just for the audience who doesn't know, like, Zach, I know you kind of also in a personal context, and I would say that that's true just to who you are in general, is you're somebody who
Hmm.
loves like bringing people together and connecting people and just like getting to talk with people that might not even be like on everybody's radar and just getting to connect them, which is really cool. And I feel like speaks to just why you're in the position that you're in and how like passionate you are about it, which is so cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the thing I've enjoyed about working in like helping profession is like you get to talk to people that you wouldn't otherwise,
Yeah.
and I get to connect with people from lots of different backgrounds, situations, experiences. So you hear stories and things that are going on in our community that I would never have known happens. It was
Yeah.
kind of a privilege.
Yeah. It definitely is a privilege and getting to hear people's stories. And, obviously I can relate to that because that's what I do with clients is they're sharing their maybe untold stories. And so you're getting to like have that honor to know them and sit with them and then find tangible solutions for them to get connected to the things that they need, which
Hmm.
so needed.
Yeah, which to like kind of connect what you do and I do, we sometimes we talk to people that even people that the only thing they need is a counselor. They're like, I need a counselor.
Mm.
And so we have information on some of the counselors, including you. And so we'll just give them, referrals to try. And so we can do like kind of a surface level uh, connecting to a lot of things, but then, yeah, you do the deeper thing with a few people.
Yeah. And just to clarify too, like what's for somebody who's wanting to access Hark and get resources, what's the cost?
No cost,
That's
zero cost. Yeah, that's a good
totally
question.
free.
Yep.
Which is honestly, I feel like in a lot of ways, kind of a dying art of just wanting to serve people without some hidden agenda of like, okay, there's going to be like a $50 fee at the end of this. Uh,
Hmm.
and so, yeah, how are you guys able to do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Hark was started by the Accelerate Foundation. It's a foundation in Northwest Arkansas. Um, and if you're not familiar with foundations, which I wasn't before I worked for one, uh, it's just basically like an organization that holds a pot of money that their job is to use it to help the community. So you could say it's a nonprofit because they're just an organization that exists to help the community. And a lot of times they give out grants. So Accelerate can give out grants, but one of the things Accelerate decided to do was start Hark, a nonprofit. So it's a separate nonprofit, but we're funded by Accelerate. And yeah, they just saw that this was a need for Northwest Arkansas, that people needed help finding what's out there. And so they fund it, and that's nice.
Yeah, yeah, that it really is. That's awesome. Um, and for people that are wanting to like get connected, are there certain events, like even just outside of like if somebody's wanting resources, ways that they could be involved with Hark or partner with you guys?
There's not really like volunteer needs. There is one kind of special thing going on right now with the tornado that hit Benton County
Mm.
a couple weeks ago. There's a fund called Benton County Relief Fund, and so it's basically a fund for victims of the tornado that had people that had financial difficulties from the tornado can sometimes get uh, money from this fund, and we are the ones that are distributing the funds. And so, for one, if you were affected by the tornado financially, then you can reach out to us just the same way I said before, harknwa.com. Or if you want to donate to that fund, they're taking like donations from the community. And so anyone can donate to that. The website's bentoncountyrelieffund.com. That's really like the only tangible way, but that's a big way because it'll go directly to people that have financial needs.
Right. Yeah. And that's great that you guys are doing that and to know how to get connected because I know that the tornado that hit recently has really impacted a lot of people. And, I know people personally who their house has been destroyed or different
Mm,
things have come up. And so that's nice to know that there are ways that people can give to this fund in order to support people who have been impacted, and also ways for people who have been impacted to get connected to some resources and some potential financial resources too, which is a big deal. So that's awesome.
hmm Yeah, yeah, I'm so glad that they got this going. Yeah, a lot of people are needing some financial help. It's really crazy.
Mm. Well, last thing I want to ask is, Zach, obviously you do things outside of your day job, and you're, like I mentioned before, you're somebody who just cares about NWA and making connections and building bridges. And so want to just ask, like, are there any projects that you're doing that people can get connected to, or that you want to just let the community know that you're doing that they could be a part of?
Hmm. Yeah. Um, well, yeah, like you said, I love making connections. Sarah knows that about me. And yeah, personally, I just love uh, making friends with people in my community, people that try and find those people that, don't have positive friends in their life and to try and be a new friend and build a connection. Um, the one way that I've found best to do that is through community meals,
Mm.
which they're all over Northwest Arkansas, but uh, I'm in Fayetteville and there's a lot in Fayetteville. Um, and one of them I get to help organize. It's called Morning Manna, and it's at Genesis Church every Sunday morning at 9:45. And it's yeah, just a free community meal. So anyone can just show up and eat breakfast. It's a really good breakfast. And the reason I go is because it's just a special place to meet people
Mm.
that I wouldn't meet otherwise. Um, there's a lot of people that are living on the street that go to that breakfast, and people that yeah just need a little help with food. Um, so it's a special place, a lot of like mix of people and a good environment, and yeah, made great connections there. It's a
Yeah.
great place to show up and eat or volunteer and make the food, pass out the food.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so morning manna at Genesis Church. And if somebody wanted to volunteer, what's the best way for them to do that?
Um, the best way would be to click the volunteer link on the Genesis Church website. Um, yes, if you just go to search Genesis Church, and then there'll be a tab for morning manna, and you can click volunteer there. Or you can also just show up and start helping out. That'll work too.
Yeah. Just show up, just see what happens.
Yeah, they won't tell you no.
That's awesome. Well, man, well, Zach, so great to get to have you on here. It's fun just getting to talk with you more about what you do in a professional context. And I feel like I learned a little bit more about what you do, even though, we're friends outside of this. Like, it's cool just to hear how you are serving the community and how people like me, like counselors, and even just humans in general, no matter where you're coming from, can get connected, can have access to the different tangible needs that they have, and that it's free and easy, and they have a chance of speaking to you, which sounds great. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for putting me on here and for doing this series. It's a great idea.
thanks. Thanks. Yeah. Just trying to build bridges.
Oh yeah, I love that. We always need to know more what's going on, make connections.
Absolutely. Well, um, I'll let you get back to your work and yeah, talk to you later.
Okay.